but you also have to watch who you are hanging around and who you are giving your energy to. You didn't want to hear that today. You might have to let go of some friends because you have a kid now. Hi guys, how are you? What's up y'all? It's Bree and I'm back with another video. I know it's been a while. We're going to address the elephant in the room. I know it's been a while. I'm sorry, okay? It's a pandemic. I'm stressed, okay? Look. But we thank God. I'm back. We here. Let me just go ahead and address this. This is my purity ring. I got it from mygents.com. It's bomb. I am not engaged, nor am I in a relationship. Just wanted to get that off of my chest. So anyways, I'm here today and I'm back with another video and I'm here to talk about single motherhood. I just wanted to come on here and speak from my heart a little bit, talk to you guys about being a single mom, some of the tips and tricks that I've learned in my short 2 years of mastering the craft of being a single mother. I just wanted to come on here because I know a lot of my followers on Instagram are also single mothers, and I just want to impart into them some of the things I've learned. None of this information was given to me by my mom because my mom is happily married, honey. So everything I've learned, I've either just learned from experience or other single mothers in my life that have imparted wisdom into me. So I just want to share that with y'all and help you not make some of the mistakes I made, or just save you a little bit of time on the way up. So without further ado, let's get this thing started. So I made a little list on my phone, so if y'all see me looking, that's what I'm doing. The first thing that you must do as a single mother, and y'all know that this channel is all about the good Lord Jesus Christ. So keep that in mind. But the first thing I put down was spiritual alignment. If you have not seen my spiritual alignment video, I will tag it somewhere up in here because, honey, there's some nuggets in there. It's some nuggets. I went back and watched that like... So you need to go watch that because there was some good information in there. But just on a serious note, spiritual alignment. You have got to be the head for your child. You have got to have a good relationship with God for your child, because there are going to be things that you physically and mentally just cannot handle when it comes to your child, and you are going to need God there to be your backbone. Because trust me, sis, it's going to get rough. Okay, it's going to get rough. And I don't mean to be just talking to women, but I am a single mother. I'm not a single father, so it could be totally different. So I'm just going to speak from my side, okay? So it's going to get rough. And you're going to need God. You're going to need God in all manners, in all aspects. So go on and get that relationship right, because from that is going to flow everything else that I say. So you have to have that in order. You have to. And if you don't know who God is and you need help finding out who God is, or you need help with, figuring out how to get to that point, please DM me, message me something, because I want to help you, because I really, 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 really am serious about that. That is the only way that you're going to get through this, is with God. So if you don't believe that, or if you don't believe in him, I'm going to click off this video because everything else is going to be null and void, okay? So the next point is establish a relationship with the other parent. I know. I know. Sis, I know. Yeah. But y'all gonna have to be on good terms. You are. I'm gonna say it right now. I'm sorry. Now this only pertains to that parent that wants to be in the child's life. If the parent doesn't want to be in the child's life, don't want nothing to do with it, ain't nowhere to be found, you can't even find him with his fingerprint, that's a whole nother story. But for that parent that wants to be in the child's life and wants to be active in the child's life, you have got to have a good relationship with them. Now, am I saying y'all gotta go to lunch every week? Am I saying y'all gotta text and talk all day long? No. Y'all just have to be at a point where y'all can cordially have a conversation that is productive in terms of anything related to y'all's child. Bottom line. If you don't have that, it's going to crumble. It's going to crumble. So beyond that comes the point where y'all have to have a conversation. And this is something that me and my daughter's father did. We had a conversation about the relationship. Now, this is the only thing that didn't really deal with our daughter, but I had to get those feelings out, and he needed to as well. We needed to have a conversation where we lay everything out on the table so that there's no questions, so that there's no nights where you sitting up wondering, well, I wonder if... No, let's have that conversation now. So from this point forward, we can focus on what's important, which is our child. And, you know, what happens after that is what it is. So that's what we did. We had that conversation. We laid everything out on the table. So from that point forward, we can make it 100% about the child. You have to make it all about the child. It cannot be about that. You have to get over that relationship. It has to be about the kid. So that goes back to having that conversation. If you have a co-parent who is not open to doing that right then, or, you know, they're not ready, or they're not emotionally intelligent enough to have a conversation like that, you have got to get over that relationship. Sis, it is over. It is over. It is over and done with. And what is important is the fact that you are a mother. And you have got to raise that child regardless of whether he want to tell you why he cheated or not. Nobody cares. At this point, it's about the kid. And that's how you have to operate. You have to literally operate as if that person is literally like a sperm donor that wants to be in your child's life. You gave me enough to have a child, and we raising it together, but we ain't got no type of emotional ties. You have to operate like that, because otherwise your child is going to suffer, and that's what you don't want. If he does not want to have a conversation, if he does not want to talk to you about the relationship, if he does not want to be open with you about his new relationships, let it go. Y'all don't have to be nothing but co-parents. The only time y'all need to be communicating is when it's about your child or when it's concerning your child. That's it. And you have to set that standard and say, look, do not hit this phone unless you are talking to me about mine. Me or mine. Okay? That's how you got to be. And it's kind of cutthroat, but it's the only way that you can protect your peace as well as protect your child. Bottom line. So let's say the other parent doesn't want to be in the child's life. You cannot force that person to be in the child's life. But furthermore, you yourself as the mother should operate 100% as a parent 100% of the time, whether that parent is there or not. Because at any given moment, that opposite parent can decide that they don't want to do this no more. That they just want to walk out, that they want to move to another state, that they want to do whatever it is that they want to do besides be in your child's life. And you as a mother have to be 100% ready to be that child's mother, whether it's just you or whether it's you and his village and you and y'all's village and you and everybody else. Whether something happens with your parents and they can't keep your child no more, you have to be able to operate 100% as a parent. You got to make some stuff shake. You got to find a way or make a way. You have to. Because the thing is, as the mother, it's your responsibility to make sure that your child does not go without. It is your responsibility, not the dad's. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, and it is a double standard, but as much as I hate to say it, it's all on you. It all falls on you. To this day, if my daughter's dad just said, I'm tired, I don't want to do this no more, it's up to me to make sure that my child does not go without. It is. So you have to operate like that, whether that parent is there or not. You have to operate, since that person decided not to, be in a relationship with you and y'all not living together, working it out. You are a single parent and you have to be a single household, like head of household, 100% of the time. You have to be that. And it takes a lot of sacrifice, but that's just what you have to do for your kid. And that actually brings me to my next point of sacrifice. Sacrifice. This is a word that is so important when it comes to parenthood, period. It's sacrifice. You have to be able to let go of everything when it comes down to your kid. I even had this conversation with my two best friends. I love them to death. I see nothing happening to our friendship anytime soon, but I told them, I said, I would lose a friendship with y'all over my daughter. Period. If you speak on her wrong, I'm done. And I know they would never do that, but I just, that is something, you have to be that cutthroat when it comes to your kid, because you have to sacrifice everything to be what you need to be for your child. And there's many different aspects to this, so I'm about to break it down real quick. So the first thing that you have to sacrifice is your time. I started this back when I was pregnant. I started sacrificing. My friends would ask me to go out, and I'd be like, no, I gotta save money. I gotta stay home. I gotta save money. And I know it probably got on their nerves, but they understood. And the thing is, I wasn't doing it because I really, really needed to like stay at home, but I was doing it because I wanted to go on and train my mind to be able to miss out. I wanted to train my mind to not have my face in the place all the time. Because the thing is, the child will get here and then you'll think that you can keep on doing hood rat things like you was doing before the child got here. And then your child misses out on a relationship with you. Because at the end of the day, I wanted to be in the mindset where if somebody asked me to do something, it wasn't like I didn't hesitate to say no. I would be like, nope, I got my daughter tonight. And it wouldn't be a hard thing for me to be like, well, let me see if, no. It was just a straight up, no, I have my daughter tonight, can't do that. Or no, me and my daughter already have something planned, can't do that. Or no, we already going to family dinner, can't do that. You know, like when you get into that process of doing that, even if your child's already here, go on and start saying no to some things. Go on and start, if it's something that you don't absolutely have to do, if it's not your best friend's birthday and y'all just want to go out to dinner, say no. Say, no, I need to spend some time with my kid. Or say, no, I think I'd rather, do this or that. Because what it's going to do is it's going to teach you how to sacrifice for your child. And it's going to teach you how to get in the mindset of making sure that your child is the priority in all things that you do. The next thing I had to sacrifice was my space. When I was living with my mom, my room was crazy. It was a mess. It was all baby stuff. But then when I actually got my own apartment, I had this dream in my mind where I was like, oh, I'm going to have this here and it's going to look like this and it's going to be high end and it's going to be... And then I realized that my child started walking and she wanted toys. So I needed somewhere to put them. So now I have a big pink Disney tent in my living room. Did I want that in my living room? Was that my dream? No. But at the end of the day, especially now with this pandemic, my child still has a place in this house. And I don't want her to think that, she's sitting in the house just bored watching TV all day long because I don't have no toys, because I don't want toys in my living room, or I don't want my living room to look a certain type of way. I have a big pink tent in the middle of my living room. I have a little baby kitchen set in my dining room. My bedroom has her chairs and toys all over the floor. Y'all, like it literally looks like a power struggle in this house because half of the stuff is mine and half of the stuff is hers. But at the end of the day, I had to sacrifice it. I had to realize that if my child is going to live here, I want her to be 100% comfortable here. And I want her to feel like she can play. And I don't want to be yelling at my child because she putting stuff on my white carpet. You shouldn't have white carpet if you have a 1-year-old. So really that sacrifice piece is really big and it covers a lot of bases. So like I said, time, space, energy. You have to conserve your energy for your child so that you can have energy for them when you get home from work or when you get home from school or whatever it is. But you also have to watch who you are hanging around and who you are giving your energy to. You didn't want to hear that today. You might have to let go of some friends because you have a kid now. That means you can't really hang around them that be smoking weed all the time because you have a kid now. Or you can't hang around the people that gossip all the time because you have a kid now. You have things that are more important than sitting around talking about who Susan is with now or who Katie is messing with now, because you have energy that you need to conserve for a child that you have to give it to. You can't come home from work frustrated and don't want to do nothing with your 1-year-old and get mad because she want to run and jump and play on top of stuff. She's a kid. He's a kid. You have to conserve that energy. And if you're wasting your energy and your mental space on things that are not important or on things that are not going to better you as a parent, your child is going to suffer. Your child is going to suffer. Bottom line, you have got to conserve that energy. You have to watch who you are dealing with. You have to watch who you are giving your time to. You have to watch who you are giving your energy to. And you have to watch the vibes that you let come your way, because kids pick up on stuff like that. My daughter is a person where she could see somebody 1 year, get a vibe from them, love them to death, not see them for a whole year, and then come back and act like no time has passed, because she picks up on vibes of people. And so the thing is, if you are bringing home bad vibes and bringing home bad spirits, you're instilling that stuff into your kid unknowingly, unbeknownst, how do you say that word to you? You don't know it, but you're really putting those bad spirits in the atmosphere where you and your child are dwelling. You have to be very selective about who you are around, you by yourself, but also who you bring your kid around. That's serious. That's really serious, because that right there determines how your kid turns out. And once again, if it's the wrong people, your kid's gonna suffer. your kid is going to suffer. Also, you have to learn how to manage your finances or sacrifice your finances. I know this was something that was pretty hard for me because I was so used, like I wasn't planning to have my daughter when I did. So I was so used to spending money on myself. And then when I had my baby shower, my daughter got so much stuff. Like I didn't have to buy her anything for a very long time. So I got used to spending my money on myself because I was like, or, you know, spending on my bills and then myself. Because I was like, well, I mean, she got diapers, she got wipes, she got toys, she got this. But then when she started getting out of the age threshold of all the stuff that they could buy me at the baby shower, and she started eating real shoes, like hard bottom shoes, and she started needing toys that were for 1-year-olds and up, and she started needing 12 and 18-month clothes, that baby shower stuff dwindled real quick on when she started getting into them size 5 and size 6 diapers. Yeah, that baby shower didn't have that. You got some 1s and 2s and maybe some 3s. You got you some stuff about 0 to 6, 6 to 12 if you had some good people in your life, and that was about it. From that point forward, you on your own. They said, okay, we'll get you through your first 6 to 12 months, but after that, it's on you, sis. You're gonna have to provide for your child. And I had to learn that. I had to get myself together. I had to learn to put my child first when it came to money. So I had to stop eating out as much. I had to slow down because I was like, if I'm sitting here spending $10 to $12 every day in food, that's money I could be spending on diapers. That's money I could be putting in my child's college fund. That's money I could be doing for this. That's money I could be doing for that. If you out and you buying a bottle every weekend, that's money that could be getting drafted out of your account to be put into an NC 529 plan for your child. Or that could be money that you're putting in your savings account to buy a house for your child instead of living with your mother. Those are all things I had to learn to do. And I was sitting there like, oh, I got extra money this month. Let me go shopping. No, let me take that money and put it in my savings account so we can go get us a house. So I can pay my car payment, so I can keep taking my daughter to daycare. So I can buy her a new car seat when she grows out of this one. So I can buy my kid a real stroller so I can take her outside and we can go on walks. Yeah. I was selfish for a little bit. Yeah. And it gets hard to be like, dang, I wanted these shoes for so long. You gonna have to walk on your shoes till the sole come off, but that baby is gonna have some brand new shoes on. My parents taught me that when I was real young. My mom she always said, don't you ever look better than your child. And that doesn't mean like looks, which I mean, my daughter looks just like me, so she's good on that. But meaning, don't have your hair laid and your child walking around here looking crazy. Don't have your face beat and your daughter ain't got no Vaseline on her face. Don't have on brand new shoes and your child big toe busting out the top. Hey, you ain't want to hear it. You ain't want to hear it. You didn't want to hear it. But you looked at them little shoes you keep putting on your baby and that big toe looking a little stretched. Yeah. Yeah. And just because we in quarantine don't mean you can't buy your kids shoes. Online is still working. Go to DTLR.com and get that baby some tennis shoes. By the way, DTLR be having some bomb prices for the baby shoes. That's where I go. Just in case y'all didn't know. But yeah, you're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to learn how to sacrifice. You're going to have to learn how to, put your wants and needs on the back burner for what your child needs. Bottom line, you're going to have to. You're going to have to. I'm sorry. I don't know who I'm talking to, but sis, you got to. You're going to have to. Yeah. I was talking to you. Yep. The next thing would be, I guess when it comes down to sacrifice, is you have to sacrifice dating. Yeah, you didn't want to hear that one either. You just clicked off this video, didn't you? It's all right. Go and take 10 deep breaths and then come on back. Look, sis, you're going to have to sacrifice dating, okay? Especially in that first year. And I said this in my relationship video. Especially in that first year. You cannot be dating people in the first most pivotal year of your child's life. Think of how much your child grows from the time that they come out of you and to the time that they're 1 year old. And usually by the time they're 1, they're walking. So think of how much growth and development that is over the span of 1 year. And think of how much you grow and develop over a year. You barely change in a year. Think of that. If you are spending that time on FaceTime with a boy, texting some little boy, doing this, doing that, going out drinking, going out smoking, going out doing this, going out to parties, going out clubbing, while your child is having their most pivotal years of their life, you are going to miss out. You're going to regret it, but also once again, your child is going to suffer. You cannot allow somebody to intrude in that first year of your child's life. And trust me, because I did it, okay? And I know it was stupid. It was literally stupid. One, because I hadn't even taken the time to heal from the relationship I had with my daughter's father. But two, because my child was missing me. Like, I was rushing her whole lifestyle. I was trying to make her go to bed early so I could talk to somebody or try. You cannot do that. Do not date in that first year. Do not even thinking about dating in that first year. And then after that, become selective, very selective, and let that person get in where they fit in. Do not replace the time that was meant to be with your child with time for somebody else who has nothing to do with it at all. You can't do that, because what's going to happen is you're going to miss out on pivotal moments with your child, building moments with your child, like important moments for developing the relationship that you have with your child, especially as a single mother. Those moments are going to be detrimental if they are missed or if they are misused by going and chasing after somebody who really don't even care about y'all like that. I'm just being so honest right now. So go on, and whoever he is, tell him I'm gonna catch you later. And if he a real one, he will catch you later. If he's not, you gonna find out real quick. There's plenty of fish in the sea. You're not missing out on your husband, okay? You're not. Because if he was really your husband, he would be pressing you to spend that time with your child instead of sitting on FaceTime with him for 6 hours. You up with him on the phone till 2 o'clock in the morning. Then you got to get up at 7 to get ready for work. By the time you get off of work, you hot and annoyed because you ain't had no sleep last night because you was on the phone with a dude. And now you taking it out on your child mad because your baby crying for a bottle. I'm just being honest. And you won't even recognize that you're doing it until you're in the midst of doing it. And then you're like, you catch yourself. So don't date. Just don't. Don't even entertain. Because you'll think that you just sitting there texting and talking to somebody. Y'all building. And that's dating, in other words. So don't do it. The next thing would be use your support resources wisely. Have y'all ever met that one girl who her child is always with her mama? Like, where your baby? With my mama. So when is she with you? You have to use those resources wisely. And once again, that goes back to sacrificing your time. Like when I was telling you guys I didn't really go out with my girls much, because I'm not going to ask my mom to keep my daughter so I can go out with my girls every weekend and then turn around and I need her to keep her so I can actually go to work. You are exhausting your resources. Exhausting it. And whether that's your mama, your daddy, your auntie, your grandma, your friend, your babysitter, whoever it is, use them when you really, really need them. And am I saying don't ever go out with your girls? No, I'm never saying that. Or don't ever go out, or don't ever have fun. You know, whatever it is you do for recreation, cool. But don't make it a every weekend thing. Don't make it a everyday thing that you always asking your mama to keep your kid. You always asking your friend to keep your kid. You always asking your brother to keep your kid. They, of course, they don't necessarily mind doing it, but when you start abusing that resource, it starts making them less enthusiastic to do it. And it's not because of the child. It's not necessarily because your child is a hindrance, but it's because they start feeling like you're using them. You're making them a crutch, you know, whereas you should be sacrificing, and you should be understanding that you being a single parent low key is the hindrance, you know, if that makes any sense at all. And I'm not saying it's a mistake. I'm not saying that you are completely in the wrong. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is most of the time the single parent situation happened because of someone having sex out of wedlock. There was no marriage. There was none of that. So majority of the time, the reason why you have a single kid is because y'all slipped up. Or the reason why you're a single mom is because y'all slipped up. And the thing is, you're supposed to be the one sacrificing, not them. Your best friend ain't the one who had a kid and ended up on her own. Your mama ain't the one that ended up having a kid on her own. And if she did that 30 years ago, 20 years ago when you was a baby. But her time is gone. Now she can live her life. And just like she had to sacrifice for you, or just like your daddy had to sacrifice for you, now it's time for you to sacrifice for your kid. So when your friends say, oh, let's go out. Oh, I actually got my daughters tonight. So yeah, but let's plan out. Let's do that. And then that's another thing too. When it comes to using your resources wisely, if you want to do things with your friends, train them on planning things ahead of time for you. Parents or babysitters or whoever appreciate it so much more when you say, hey mom, can you keep my daughter 2 Saturdays from now from 5 to 9? Me and the girls are going out to dinner and we might go bowling. They love that. Rather than you being like, hey mom, can you keep her Saturday night? Because me and the girls trying to go out. Like which one sounds better to you? Would you rather have somebody ask you something 2 weeks in advance so you have time to really prepare yourself to do it? Or would you rather them ask you 2 nights before? Use those resources wisely, because there are people out here who will literally be like, no, I'm not keeping her. No, I done had her every weekend since December. I'm not keeping her. Find somebody else. I'm sorry. You keep her. There are people who would do that. And you don't want to feel that embarrassment. So if I were you, I would just go and start sacrificing and keep your child yourself. Unless you absolutely need somebody. Or unless you planned in advance. 2 more points here. 2 more points. Hustle and advocate for your child. So y'all know I feel real heavy about this because I have 2 jobs. I mean, we in quarantine right now, so I ain't got no jobs. But I have 2 jobs. And when I tell you I would do anything to make sure that my daughter is good, to make sure that this roof stays over her head, I would do anything. And I mean, yes, it is hard not seeing my daughter as much, but for me, I am setting up for the future. And I mean, I hate to say it, but she won't necessarily remember this time. So I'm trying to use this time to build so that by the time, she starts having recitals after school and she starts having this, that, and the fourth, I'm able to be there and I'm able to move my schedule around and I'm able to be like, financially in a place where I can take a day. Or, I want to be there by the time it really matters. So definitely hustling for your child. Other part, advocate for your child. You have got to become mama bear. And I never understood why my mama went so hard for us when we were little. Like we would tell her, hey mama, that lady over there said something to me, and she'd go crazy and start, ODing in the store. But now I understand, because in her mind, my 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 8-year-old, 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 16-year-old can't advocate for themselves like I can. My child is not, I've taught them and I've raised them to be respectful to adults, to be respectful to authority. So they can't disrespect, but I can go over here and set it straight. So now I understand that. And especially when your child is young like mine, like my daughter is literally almost 2. She can't just go and communicate with somebody how she's really feeling. If I know my child is being mistreated, I have to be the one to stand in that gap. I have to be that middleman. Like, listen, okay, let's have a conversation. There was a time my daughter was coming home from daycare with these diaper rashes. And I'm like, you had 2 jobs, 3 jobs. Watch her, feed her, and change her butt. So why she come home with a diaper rash? And it happened one time and I was just like, oh, well, maybe, diaper rashes happen. Happened again and I was like, Happened the 3rd time, I went up to the daycare. I said, listen, we need to have a conversation because my child keeps coming home with a diaper rash and it's not me. It's not her dad. It's not when she's with my parents. It's not when she's with her other grandparents. It's when she's here. Over the weekend, it clears up and then she gets back to school and she's coming back with diaper rashes. And I'm just trying to understand the disconnect here. And even though it kind of stung a little bit to have that conversation, because who likes confrontation? Nobody. But I had to do it for my child. And I had to put on my big girl panties and walk up in there like, listen, if y'all continue to mistreat my child, she will not go here anymore. Bottom line, you have to stand in the gap for your child. You have to advocate for them because they can't do it themselves, or they won't do it themselves, or they're respecting your wishes of being respectful to adults, or whatever it is. You have to advocate for your child. You have to believe your child. You have to listen to your child. Bottom line. Last and final point, because my mouth getting dry, is love on your child. Love on your baby. Have you ever seen a child that's been just like hardened by not being loved enough at home? I have, and it's a sad sight. And you don't want your child to be like that. You want your child to be a beacon of sunlight. You want your child to display the love that they're shown at home. You want to love your child beyond measure. Now, correct them when they're wrong. Make sure that you keep them in line. Teach them respect. Teach them all the morals that they need to be an upright citizen, and to be an upright Christian, and to be an upright follower of God. But love on them and show them love. Show them gratitude. Show them how much you care about them. Teach them how to love by loving them the correct way. I mean, there's really no other way to say that. Children need love. Adults need love. So children really need love. So that's really important. I think I said everything, y'all. My mouth is dry. So I'm going to stop talking. I really hope something in this video really pricked your heart, touched your heart, taught you something, helped you out. If something did, please leave a thumbs up. Please leave a comment below. If I missed something, comment it below. If you're a single mom, or if you're a married mom, or if you're a mom period, or a parent period, who can just impart any wisdom in me or anybody else who has watched this video, please comment that below. Feel free to. Once again, like this video, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. I so appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thanks for listening to me talk till my mouth went dry, till I got cotton mouth. And I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.